When I walked into the garage on my 17th birthday, I thought I was about to see my future. Instead, I saw the end of something I hadn't even realized was already breaking. Sitting in the middle of the garage floor was a small, shiny box, wrapped in silver ribbon, glowing like a trophy. I ran to it, heart pounding in my chest, hands shaking with excitement. This was it. This was the moment. Years of practice, hours lost to perfecting scales and arpeggios, missed outings, 1,000 quiet sacrifices, all for this. I tore open the ribbon. Inside was a toy, a 1/24 scale replica of a BMW X5, a toy car, a joke. And my father? He stood behind me laughing so hard he had to wipe tears from his eyes. He said, "A deal's a deal. Here it is, your brand new BMW." I didn't laugh. Let me take you back. I was 8 when the piano arrived. A polished upright, the kind that looked like it belonged in an old church or a concert hall. My parents had signed me up for lessons, and I was thrilled. Music was magic. And piano? It felt like casting spells with your fingertips. That first year, I practiced every day, played in recitals, got standing ovations in the school auditorium, and over time, I became known as the piano guy. I accompanied the jazz choir, played weekly concerts for local retirement homes. It became part of who I was. But by the time I was 15, something shifted. It wasn't that I didn't love music anymore. I just wanted space, freedom. I wanted to try new things, join clubs, explore sports, maybe even just be a normal teenager for a minute. Between school, piano, and my part-time jobs, I barely had time to breathe. I told my parents I was thinking about quitting lessons, and they panicked. My dad, especially. He didn't scold me. He didn't argue. He made a deal. If you stick with it until level 10 of the Royal Conservatory and keep your grades up, I'll buy you a brand new car. Any car. Your choice. I blinked. Any car? Any car, he said. You want a Lamborghini? Go for it. He extended his hand, eyes steady. We shook on it, and I believed him. Maybe that sounds naive. Maybe it was. But this was my dad, and I kept my side of the deal. Every day, 1 to 2 hours of practice. Every weekend, exams, master classes, extra rehearsals. I sacrificed time with friends, turned down after-school activities, and I studied hard, kept my GPA high. I didn't just meet the terms of the agreement, I exceeded them. The summer I turned 17, I passed my level 9 RCM exams, and I already knew what car I wanted, a BMW X5 plug-in hybrid. It was stylish, eco-conscious, and safe, practical and bold. I was proud of the choice. I told him. He nodded. He didn't blink. Fast forward to my birthday, and there it was, a toy car, wrapped like a gift, presented like a prize. When I asked if he was serious, he smirked and said, "You didn't say it had to be full-size or drivable. A deal's a deal." Then added, like a catchphrase, "Life isn't fair." It hit me like a piano key to the chest. This wasn't just a prank. It wasn't just a bad joke. This was betrayal, a deeply personal one, and it wasn't the first time. See, my dad has a thing for loopholes. It's like a sport to him. He'll twist the rules just enough to win any game, any argument. And when I win, it doesn't count because of some invented technicality. He thinks it's clever. I think it's cruel. He calls it teaching me how the world works. But I already know how the world works. I live in it. I just hoped that inside my house, with my own family, things would be different. But that day in the garage, I learned the truth. I barely spoke to him at breakfast. He kept cracking jokes, asking if I'd taken the new BMW for a test drive across the table. I stayed silent. Later, he told me we could talk about getting a reasonably priced used car. I said I wasn't interested. Petty? Maybe, but I wasn't negotiating with someone who'd already shown me that my effort, my commitment, meant nothing. If I took the used car now, it would be like saying his little loophole joke was okay, that my trust didn't matter, that my work didn't matter. I couldn't do it. The thing is, my family is well off. We're not struggling. But I've never been spoiled. Every game console, every phone, I bought with money I earned myself. I don't ask for much. That car wasn't about luxury. It was about principle, about trust, about being able to believe in a promise. I've been keeping my distance since. I stopped bringing up music, stopped practicing. I think my dad noticed, but he hasn't said anything. Maybe he thinks I'll come around, that I'll laugh about it one day too. But I can't. Because when you're a kid, when you're someone's son, you believe them. You believe the handshake, the words, the look in their eyes when they promise you something. You believe your parent won't use your love for them as a punchline. And when they do, it doesn't just sting, it shatters something. This wasn't about the BMW, this was about trust. So now I ask you, internet strangers, am I the asshole for refusing to forgive my dad? For not letting this go? For choosing principle over compromise? For holding on to what was promised, even when I've got the means to settle for less? Because every time I see that toy car on my desk, I remember that for 2 years, I gave up so much of myself for someone who thought breaking a promise was a joke worth telling. And I'm still trying to figure out what that says about me. So, am I the asshole? You know, when I first read this story, I couldn't stop thinking about that moment in the garage. It plays like a movie scene. One of those moments where everything slows down. The kind of moment that doesn't just disappoint you. It rewires you. This wasn't just a teenager asking for an expensive car. This was a teenager asking to be taken seriously, to be heard, to matter. And what he got was mockery. I want to say something to the parents out there, to the dads, the moms, the guardians. Your kids, they remember, not just the punishments or the presents, but the promises, especially the promises. And when you break one, you're not just teaching a lesson about life. You're teaching them whether or not they can trust you, whether or not you're safe. This dad didn't just break a deal, he broke a bond. And to the young people listening, if you've ever felt betrayed like this, you're not overreacting. Your feelings are real, they're valid. And no, you're not entitled or spoiled for wanting honesty, or consistency, or just basic respect. We all need people in our lives who mean what they say. So let me turn it over to you. If someone makes a deal with you and you fulfill your end, but they twist theirs into a joke, are you obligated to forgive them? Or are you justified in walking away? Let us know in the comments. Was he right to hold the line? Or should he have accepted the used car and moved on? And if you've ever had a moment like this, a promise made, a trust broken, we want to hear your story. This is AITA Story Vault, where the hardest questions live. Thanks for listening.